Old classics die hard, and The Karate Kid is the definition of a classic. The current golden age of streaming has brought us remakes, sequels, prequels, and a host of revisitations of hit films and shows from the previous decades. But few of them have achieved the popularity of Cobra Kai, the surprise hit of the last couple years. The story of Johnny Lawrence's redemption has brought pleasant memories to all Karate Kid fans, and it has managed to attract a younger audience who wasn't aware of the original film. At the center of it all is, of course, Johnny Lawrence himself, played by the big bad blonde legend William Zabka. His performance has made us believe what only Barney Stinson thought before us, that Johnny was the real Karate Kid all along. As he rebuilds the Cobra Kai dojo and trains a new generation of kick-ass karate students, we see him face the challenges of fatherhood and, of course, the temptation of Coors Banquet beer. If you are a follower of the Netflix hit, you'll be counting down the days for the long-awaited 4th season, to be released next December 31st. And there's better news yet. Cobra Kai has already been renewed for a 5th installment as well, so our karate needs will be well taken care of for the foreseeable future. While we wait for the return of Johnny and Daniel, let's take a few minutes to learn more about the show's anti-hero. Keep watching to find out 6 things you probably didn't know about William Zabka. While you're watching, remember to punch the like and subscribe buttons to show your support. If you're in a button-mashing mood, don't forget to crane kick the bell icon too. You'll get a notification as soon as there's a new video available on the channel. We've got lots more content coming about Cobra Kai and all your favorite shows, so make sure you don't miss it. Number 6. Cobra Kai happened thanks to Harold and Kumar. Cobra Kai is, without a doubt, the culmination of the story of Johnny Lawrence. However, it is by no means the first subversion of the original The Karate Kid. You're probably aware of the memorable William Zabka and Ralph Macchio cameo on How I Met Your Mother. In our previous video on the former, we also mentioned Zabka had directed the music video for Sweep the Leg. The song featured all the male cast from The Karate Kid, save for Pat Morita, and it was the seed for what would eventually become Cobra Kai. But there was a weirder, more important factor in getting Cobra Kai made. In 2010, Zabka had a brief but memorable role in 80s nostalgia comedy Hot Tub Time Machine. The screenwriter Josh Heald was close friends with John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, creators of another successful comedy franchise, Harold and Kumar. Leaping at the chance to collaborate with Zabka again, they set out to work on a full-fledged dramedy that would develop the Johnny Lawrence character. If you think about it, we wouldn't have Cobra Kai if it weren't for the most legendary stoner couple this side of Cheech and Chong. Number 5. He is all 80s guilty pleasures, Whitesnake, Zebra, and Van Halen. Although Johnny Lawrence is pretty much a bum when you meet him on Cobra Kai, Zabka is anything but. For one thing, he's no longer pining after his high school girlfriend, and he doesn't have an estranged relationship with his wife. In fact, the actor married successful American businesswoman Stacy in 2008, and they have 2 children. Although Stacy prefers to lead a quiet life away from the cameras, they look very happy together. So things seem to be working much better for Zabka than they do for his character on the show. However, there is one thing they do have in common. They're both nostalgic for the 80s. In an interview, 1965-born William confessed he is an all 80s guilty pleasures. His favorite bands are still heavy metal legends Def Leppard, Whitesnake, and Zebra. And a few years ago, Zabka got a chance to relive his glory days. He went backstage at a Van Halen concert, and Eddie Van Halen himself let him play Ain't Talkin' 'Bout Love on his guitar. We're sure Johnny Lawrence would have killed for that chance. Number 4. A former wrestler that followed a strict diet for Cobra Kai. In our previous video on Zabka, we mentioned that he got quite a bit of karate experience after portraying the bad guy on The Karate Kid. In case you don't remember, he got as far as getting a 2nd-degree green belt. Although that's only about halfway to a black belt, the New Yorker was an athletic young man, and he played other sports as well. He was an accomplished wrestler, signing up for official competitions. Although his fighting days are long past, the success of Cobra Kai meant that Zabka had to prepare for the role. That is especially true given that his antagonist Ralph Macchio weighs $155, which forces Zabka to keep slim. Ever the consummate professional, when the show was greenlit, he started doing a lot of cardio, and he went on a high-protein diet filled with vegetables. Luckily, it's probably easier to stay in shape when you play a Johnny Lawrence that is way past his prime. Number 3. A strong Chuck Norris connection dating back to the Karate Kid. As we had previously mentioned, William has a family connection to one of the most legendary action stars of all time. His father, Stan Zabka, had worked as a production manager on several motion pictures, one of which was Forced Vengeance, starring martial arts legend Chuck Norris. But there's yet another Chuck Norris connection you may not know about, dating back to the original The Karate Kid film. As it turns out, Norris was close to playing the part of Johnny Lawrence's mentor, John Kreese. However, there was a problem. Norris's attitude towards karate was much closer to the Miyagi-Do creed, and he didn't want to portray a karate teacher negatively. Thankfully, Martin Kove stepped in and delivered an incredibly mean performance. Nevertheless, some of Norris's spirit remains in the film. The stunt coordinator for The Karate Kid was Pat E. Johnson, Chuck's former student. He can be seen in the movie as the referee for the final match between Johnny and Daniel. With that many connections, we're hoping Norris makes a cameo in one of the upcoming seasons of Cobra Kai. Number 2. He used unseen footage from the original film, a Makio crane kick. Speaking of the original film, Cobra Kai made sure to give fans something both old and new. The flashback that opens the show depicts the All Valley Karate Tournament, and it actually uses footage that hadn't been used in The Karate Kid. The producers of the show went to the Sony vaults and they managed to locate unused shots from different camera angles. One of the most memorable shots featured Makio's foot landing on Zabka's face during a crane kick. We've literally never seen Johnny Lawrence beat up like that. But that footage is not the only thing linked to the original film. In keeping with the tradition to borrow some memorabilia from a film set, William Zabka decided to treasure the iconic red jacket from the first film. Back in 2013, he also decided to honor the movie that made him famous by donning a skeleton costume for Halloween. However, that wasn't his primal costume. After all, he'd done quite a bit of growing up since then. Thankfully, that also means he didn't gang up on Ralph Macchio this time. Number 1. He has taken advantage of his fame at airports and with speeding tickets. Of course, starring as the villain in a classic 80s film usually means there will be rumors about you. When The Karate Kid was released, Zabka lived in the Valley, where the drama movie took place. And soon after, a tittle-tattle started making the rounds, saying that a karate gang was looking for him and wanted to kick his butt. Fortunately, it was just a hoax, though Zabka has admitted that he's had to talk his way out of a couple fights with cocky karate students. Obviously, it helps that Zabka is a charming person in real life that has actually taken advantage of his Karate Kid fame more than a few times. In an interview with the AV Club, he confessed that he's Johnny Lawrenced his way through airport security and that his most famous role got him out of a speeding ticket once. Apparently, the cops that pulled him over recognized him as Johnny, and they knew they couldn't give a ticket to the real hero of Karate Kid. Of course, who can blame them? Well, that's it for our second installment on the legend of Johnny Lawrence, aka karate anti-hero William Zabka. Do you feel we maybe left something out? Then go ahead and leave a comment in the section below this video. While you're at it, click on the like and subscribe buttons to show your support for the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon too. If you do, you'll get a notification every time there's some new content available. Thanks for watching, and see you soon!